Hello! I have been telling myself that I was going to film some of my makeup looks for a long time, and I have never had the courage to do it, so I figured that a quarantine is a great time to work on that. Whether or not this actually makes it to social media is a whole nother story. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to start with this look, which I will hopefully be able to get an overlay of a picture of it here. I wanted to start with this one because it's a little bit simpler, and I figure that I better start with something kind of easy for my first video. So I've got all the colors for it, mostly. I don't have a teal sort of eyeliner like that, but I do have a lipstick that I can use as an eyeliner. Hopefully I can get that to work out. I did do my eyebrows off camera because eyebrows are hard enough to do without having to worry about people watching me. For my eyebrows, I used Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. I actually used a NYX brush because I like it better, and then I concealed around them with NYX Born to Glow concealer, and I literally just like put it on the back of my hand and painted it on there with a brush that went somewhere. For the eyeshadow look, it's kind of like a teal brown shimmery thing. I have got Tarte's Pro palette. I think I can get away with just using this one. I'm not sure though. One of them is really broken, so I gotta be careful here. Hopefully this works. So this is kind of what I'm hoping to use for that shimmery teal color. It's kind of a brown with a shimmery fade to it, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up or not, but we'll find out. And then I've got all these nice browns down here in that row as well. If that doesn't quite do the trick, I also have Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture. And this one, again, it has some nice browns. It has this green, which I think I can probably use to my advantage. So we'll see how it goes. When I start eyeshadow, I usually start with primer. I have the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. So I'm just gonna get some on there. Get it in there all over the place. And then I just have a fluffy brush. And the sponge just kind of gets rid of any chance of creasing, and I try really hard not to open my eyes until it's like really good and dry. I have hooded eyelids, so that basically means that like this part of my eyelid is kind of just big. It's low and it comes right down over my actual eyelid. So a lot of eyeshadow looks that I do, I lose the color completely because once I open my eyes, I lose most of my actual eyelid. That makes a lot of looks, especially cut creases, challenging because I just spend so much time doing all of this work on that cut crease only to have it disappear. But they're fun to do. There's just a certain way you have to do it. Now that I have my primer on, I like to start from the top and go down with my eyeshadow. So I will basically take a nice big fluffy brush, and I will literally just take a super duper light color and go right under my eyebrows with it. And this is just so that I have something to blend up into so I don't end up with harsh lines. I kind of like to pat it on to get it on there. And then blend it in. And I take this right down into the inner corner of my eye and right like out past the end of my eyebrow. So that gives me something to blend all of the rest of the colors into. We've got kind of a reddy brown sort of color in and around the crease there. Probably this one in that Tarte palette. It's probably gonna work. I'm gonna test out how dark it is on the back of my hand first. And it is pretty dark. Again, at that light, kind of makes everything look washed out, so I don't really know how good any of this is gonna look. I have another brown in here that looks like it might work well with it, so I think I might actually start with that one. It's a little tiny bit lighter, if the difference is showing up at all. So I'm gonna start with the slightly lighter one from the Anastasia palette. I'm gonna knock my brush off so I don't get too much color. You can always add more later, but it is harder to take it away if you end up with too much. So start light. Having said that, I am getting really, really good at blending and taking off too much eyeshadow. It's a real talent. This one comes kind of up above the crease, so I like to start this with my eyes open just to get an idea of where my color is going to go. That actually came out really light. So I literally just have outlined kind of where I want it to go. And then I'll go in and sort of get it right down in that crease and blend, 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 blend. And you can see in my crease where I didn't have any previous color of eyeshadow, it gets pretty dark because it's sticking to that primer. It is amazing what a good eyeshadow primer will do for you. So the one thing that I learned about eyeshadow is you can never blend too much. And when you think you've blended enough, you should probably do it more. Now when I bring it up a little bit higher, I do use a lighter hand. When I'm doing it in the crease, I kind of really get it in there. So we're kind of going out, trying to take the color out a little bit farther. There's no pictures of this with the eye open. Not that it matters because nothing looks the same when I open my eyes as it does in the photos anyways. But I'm thinking we need a little bit more color up here. There it is. That's kind of the shape. And again, we blend because we don't want it to be too harsh. One of the reasons that I generally have been too afraid to film my makeup looks is because they look bad before I'm done. They look messy, they look just not good. Exhibit A. This is step one in a many-step process. What am I going for? A teal smoky eye. They don't look good to start with, and that, you know, I don't really like people seeing that process because you get started and somebody goes, oh man, like that looks terrible. But bear with me, it will get better. I'm gonna get a slightly smaller fluffy brush that is stained pink, and I'm gonna go in with a slightly darker color kind of in my corner there, just for a little bit of dimension. So I think I'm actually gonna use, for dimension, we're gonna go big or go home. We're gonna go up here. And hopefully that doesn't look scary. If it does, I get to practice my take the eyeshadow back off technique, I guess. And this one's going to be just right down inside of my crease and out to the corner. There's not going to be a lot of this one like there was of this last color. Kind of just right in here. Okay, so if the video just stopped there, it's because Travis walked in the bedroom, didn't realize I was actually recording myself. I have kind of gone in with that darker color in the corner. I'm going to kind of blend the two together with my original fluffy brush, and hopefully this picks up on camera, but it just adds a little bit more dimension to the eyeshadow. And for those of us with hooded eyelids, it helps it look like we have more eyelid in the long run. One of my favorite things about makeup is that you can screw it up, and it's pretty easy to fix usually. Blend more, add more, take away some, wipe it off and do it again. Or maybe find something super cool that you weren't planning on doing. You never know. We're gonna add some color to this. I'm gonna start actually with, I think, this green. And then I'm probably gonna go in with this kind of like shimmery green blue after. Okay, I am going to go in with this one. I'll use this brush. I think this actually came with this one. I'm gonna tap it on. And it is a little bit darker than in the photo, but I'm hoping once we get the shimmer on there, it'll work. When I'm doing shadow on my lid, I often will kind of pull out this way to try to avoid getting dark colors right in the corner of my eye where I like to put highlight, just so I don't have to try to get it back off later. So this is significantly darker than the photo. Wish me luck. And remember what I said about eyeshadow looking bad while you're doing it? Yeah, pretty bad. I'm gonna take a flat brush. I don't actually think this is doing anything, but it's a nice little flat brush. I'm gonna go for it with the shimmer because this is really dark. While I'm fairly confident it's not picking up on camera, it is shimmery. It's actually really pretty. It is still a little bit darker than the photo itself. I don't mind that. I like this flat brush for shimmery shadows because you can really pack them on and try to get as much shine out of them as possible. We are looking quite a bit darker than I had planned, but that's okay. It might seem kind of redundant. Generally, once I said I moved from the top down, so I kind of did my color to blend into, and then I did my above the crease, and then my crease, and then sort of my lid. Even as I do that, and I think I did it earlier, I will often go back in with the last brush and the last color to help blend it in. So this is my small fluffy brush with a little bit of the dark shadow left on it. I'm not going to re-dip the brush or anything, but I will go in and sort of blend that. I just don't want any harsh lines. I might go in with a little bit more dark, I'm not sure. We'll see. So I guess I kind of go down and then back up. Fully intend on taking my very first big fluffy brush, that one, and I'm gonna blend everything a little bit more. I've got the same sort of thing going on. It is quite a bit darker than the photo, but I don't mind it. I am trying to think if I have anything that I can lighten it up with a little bit. I found this palette, and it's got this sort of teal color, which honestly I really should have used in the first place. I don't know why I didn't pull this one out to start with. I thought that the Tarte palette could do it. I was wrong. It's fine. That happens. And again, one of my favorite parts about makeup is that you can screw up and it doesn't matter. It's just makeup. You can wash it off. This one is Born to Run, Urban Decay. And I'm going to take that teal in the bottom and just go over my lid again to try to lighten up what's there. The nice thing about having the dark underneath is it'll give it a really good base to really pop. Hopefully it can lighten it up a little bit at least. 100% brightened it up. Hopefully the camera is picking that up because it worked really good and it looks really pretty. So now that I have that lighter color in there, I am gonna, once again, blend up. Small fluffy brush. Trying not to make my blend face. I don't know how many times I might have made it in this video so far, but it's not cute. I have quite a bit of fallout underneath my eyes. That's why I don't do my foundation beforehand. I don't do that baking thing with the powder under the eyes. Foundation after, always, for me. I am going to try to wipe some of it away also. Now, if you look at this picture, it's got two colors of eyeliner, which is cool. So we've got sort of a teal eyeliner and then a black eyeliner, one following the other, I guess. I've never done that before, so wish me luck. I don't have a teal eyeliner. I have a teal lipstick. This is a Jeffree Star lipstick. It was a Christmas one, I think, or something. It's called Mermaid Blood, and it's very much teal. And then I don't have a tiny little eyeliner brush or stuff like that. This is an old Kat Von D eyeliner that is dead. It has no ink left in it, or I guess eyeliner left in it. So it doesn't have any color, which is perfect because I am going to use it with lipstick as an eyeliner brush. Eyeliner is another super nerve-wracking thing to do. I'm sure everybody knows that. Nothing worse than ruining a good eyeshadow look with crap eyeliner. And I find as I get older, winged eyeliner is actually a lot harder to do. I cannot wear winged eyeliner without eyeshadow anymore because it just doesn't look right. And that makes me very sad because that was kind of my signature look. I actually have a little metal plate for mixing things like lipsticks and creams together, but I can't find it. So what I'm doing is wiping off the top of one of my compacts really good because all I need is a smooth surface. So here we go. And I am going to put some lipstick on it, get it on there, so I kind of just have a bunch of it on that smooth surface now. Wish me luck. I think I can make this work though. So for me, doing winged liner, I'm actually still kind of trying to relearn how to do it because it hasn't really been cooperating with me lately. I do like to start with my eyes sort of open, largely because of my hooded eyelids, and I can kind of see where my wing is going to go. If I try to do it with my eyes closed, I lose most of it. So I start with my top line, and then I'll just take it all the way across my lid, trying to be careful not to open my eye because the lipstick is going to dry a lot slower than a regular eyeliner would. But I'm also trying to see what I'm doing while simultaneously trying not to get my hand in the way of the camera. I think that worked out pretty good. Now this line, since there's going to be another black line as well, I'm kind of trying to make this one a little bit thicker than I normally would. Don't mind me while I try to keep my eye closed. The other thing hooded eyelids will ruin very quickly is eyeliner, because if I open my eyes, then it'll get all over the top lid. It's terrible. It has come to my attention that my camera is dying, so I'm going to try to hurry this up a little bit. I think I'm just going to do some black eyeliner quickly, and then if I don't get foundation and stuff in the video, so be it. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Quite thick, but I'm going to be going over it with black again. So we've got some two-toned eyeliner. So for black eyeliner, I have a new tattoo liner that does have eyeliner in it. It's a mini one, but that's okay. I like to kind of flick it around to get all the eyeliner down to the brush. And wish me luck. Okay, so far so good actually. Now the tattoo liner seems to be having a tough time going over the lipstick, but we're getting there. Okay, I'm actually pretty happy with that. By the way, if y'all can hear my dog snoring, I am sorry. She's sleeping on my bed. And she snores louder than anybody in my house. I have another eyeliner that I'm going to try. It's, the brush is kind of sticking to the lipstick almost. So this is another Kat Von D liner again, except instead of tattoo liner, it's ink liner. I think the only difference is the brush. It's more like a pen tip rather than a brush tip. And it does go over the lipstick easier. I'm thinking that might be because it's firmer. So although the wing could be higher, I think that turned out okay, mostly. The colors are super pretty, which I love. I just don't love a wing on my face anymore is all, but that's okay. So I'm gonna try to speed through some foundation here. I'm gonna use NYX Angel Veil Primer because that's the first one I grabbed. And I'm not terribly picky about primers, probably because I just haven't really found one that like I fell in love with. I do have a Too Faced Peach one that's pretty good. My foundation that I use is Too Faced Born This Way. This one's a little dark for me. I did use it in the summer and I didn't want to pay for another one, so what I do is I mix it with a little bit of lighter concealer. Try to keep it out of my hair for the most part. And then I actually have NYX's Sculpt and Highlight Contour thing. This guy. It's kind of running out. And then for blending my foundation, I do use a brush. I kind of swap back and forth between a brush and a beauty blender, depending on my mood, but right now I'm in brush mode, so. And this is sort of where I clean up that eye area. Then I like to highlight a little bit, which I do again with that Born to Glow NYX concealer. This stuff is intense, so I try to use it sparingly, and I do use a beauty blender with this. Normally I would use my beauty blender wet, but because I'm pressed for battery time, I'm not going to. Now my cat is snoring with my dog. Contour. I'm not a hardcore contourer, just a little bit. I have a hard time contouring without looking dirty, so I go pretty light. I got a nice little angled brush. I've got a Coastal Scents blush and bronzer palette. I actually got this in Ipsy a long time ago and happen to really like the bronzer in it. So I just kind of trace my cheekbones and then do a little bit on my forehead. And the key here is to just blend, 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 because nobody looks cute with obvious contour. I do a little bit on my chin sometimes. I also like to do a little on my forehead. Something, something. Sometimes I'll do the side of my nose a little bit. I don't like swapping brushes, and I know people normally use a small brush for that, so I just kind of like squeeze, pinch my fluffy brush. Highlighter, I have got, this is Becca Champagne Pop. It's super duper broken. So I have to be very, very careful with it. I have to like knock it all down and make sure it's all on the bottom of the pan. It is like dust, but it's my favorite highlighter, so I can't part with it yet. I'm not ready. I have a really wispy little brush that I use for my highlighter. I very carefully tap it in my dust, and it just goes over here. Last step, set everything, make it stay. I tend to have oily skin, especially when I'm wearing makeup, so I like to use powder to set. If I'm going to be doing like lots throughout the day or whatever, I will also use setting spray on top of my powder. I use Too Faced Peach Perfect setting powder. Holy crap, it smells good. And I normally just take a little bit and put it in the lid of it, and take my big fluffy brush and pat it around. Get it on that eyeshadow so that the eyeshadow stays put. I kind of start out with a tapping motion to try to push it into my skin, and then sort of a swirling, dusty motion to dust off any excess. Last but not least, mascara. And I wait until the very, very end to do my mascara because my eyelashes turn white if I do powder over top of mascara. This one is my favorite mascara right now. It's Urban Decay Perversion. Again, it's a mini. I need to get a big one. This is almost dead. It's at the very end of its life, and I'm very sad.